As Owen's already said, they're a brilliantly talented young squad, and Davy Klassen is their captain, and he's probably a standout star, if you'd call him that. But they're not really a team of stars either. They're a team of hard-working, talented youngsters in the mould of a traditional sort of Ajax side, really.
Yeah, and it's great to see that Ajax have always been renowned for bringing the young players into the first team, giving them the opportunity to go and establish themselves and become stars. We saw it years ago with the Kluiverts, the Seedorfs, etc. And they're talking about these guys maybe not being that level, but they've had the opportunity and they're playing. And they're now in a European Europa Cup final. As young players, the first finish, the little dink over the goalkeeper, beautiful finish, but young guys doing this on the big stage, it's great to see, but it's great to see the contrast in the two squads as well. One, a real young, dynamic squad, not lacking in experience, and this Manchester United team, experienced, huge money paid for a lot of the players. It's a mouth-watering final.
How old were you when you won your first Champions League at Bayern?
20, I think. 20.
And in those kind of games, do you have any fear at all?
No. It was some of the best games you ever played, because you literally just played on pure adrenaline. And I think for those young players there, because you've never really failed before, you actually go into the game with a different mindset, because you have a point to prove. You want to get your name out there. For the players, the experienced ones, you saw today, you know, sometimes you start thinking about the game and thinking what's happening, thinking, are you ever going to get another opportunity?
But you got to remember, Owen went into a team with bags of experience in there, who could help guide him through. If there was a moment in a game when Owen wasn't sure, maybe, he could look somewhere else and say, and there'll be experience on his right and on his left. Whereas these guys, they're going to be looking at each other for answers, and the other person will be looking back at them for the answer as well. So it's a bit, because they're all young. So it's different. If they're going to come into a 5, 10, 15 minute spell in that game where they've got to dig deep and really draw on something other than experience, it's going to be difficult times, and then you see how they react. And then it's just all about, on that day, which way do they turn? Do they sink or do they swim?
And obviously, you were 17 or whatever when you scored that goal against Argentina. Super impressive. And
I was there.
Of course you were. You were the experience.
I was watching from the bench.
Talking of young talent, we need to remember that Marcus Rashford is very likely to start for Manchester United in a major European final. February 2016, he played his first game for the first team. That's like 14, 15 months ago. That is a remarkable turnaround. And you know, if
he wasn't born when I saw the goal, to make it sound... It's amazing.
Oh, don't say that.
And I do agree that, especially with Owen, when you say about fearless, you know, when you're going out and you've not failed at all, like he hasn't, you know, he's motored through the youth ranks. He's then come into the first team, and all of a sudden he scores 2 on his debut, and then he scores 2 against Arsenal in his next game. So straight away he knows, it's like a duck to water, and this game doesn't scare me. I can do it in the first team. And Rio makes a great point as well. He's playing with a lot of experience around him, so it's just the perfect combination. He's had a long season. You could say he has played an awful lot of games. I think the most in the Manchester United squad. However, it's not all been, you know, starting. So I'm sure he's got the energy to have a really good game in the final.
He's not just a poacher. He's not just a finisher. I mean, you look at some of those goals. That Anderlecht one, that little Cruyff turn for the finish, that wonderful free kick, and then today, you know, that cross. I think his game is evolving, and he's getting better and better as a player. He's not just a centre-forward type. His overall game is improving. At 19, to be where he is amazing.
I think he needs to be more of a poacher. He's going to score plenty of goals a season. I'm not sure what...
5 Premier League goals this season.
Yeah, I don't know what Rashford's going to be, actually. Can you see him scoring 30 goals a season if he played every game up front? I'm not sure I can.
I think he'll grow into that.
Stuff. I think he helps other people. I'm not sure he's a cold-blooded...
But that's what we were talking about before. I think in football, you've got to define yourself as something. There's not many players in world football other than the two obvious, Messi and Ronaldo, even them, who have everything and are great and excel at everything. You find an area that you're great at, you're a poacher, you score goals, you're a target man, you're quick, you run in the channels and stretch teams. You've got to be great at one of them.
And I think he is.
And he's great. He's very good at all of them.
I'm just not sure he can score 30-odd goals
I think he will.
He will.
Well, we will find out. And I don't want you to feel too old. I've just checked in the notes, thanks to the brilliant Joel. Marcus Rashford, born in October 97. So when you scored that goal...
He was in a nappy.
Yeah, he was like 6 months old or something ridiculous. Right, this is the headline, I suppose, from this evening. On the front of the programme this evening, the final piece. This is, indeed, the final piece of the jigsaw. The only competition Manchester United have not won